In the bustling city of San Francisco, where people and technology reign supreme, three bear brothers set out to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. The animated series We Bare Bears, which made a splash in 2015, invites you to join this furry trio on an extraordinary journey. The animated series is based on the comic books by Daniel Chong. He worked as a storyboard artist in such projects Bolt, Cars 2, The Lorax, Despicable Me 2, and Inside Out. The main action takes place in a San Francisco cave where bears live. Let's find out a little more about the furry friends. Characters. The grizzly bear is the oldest brother and leader of the group, very noisy and sociable. Tries to make friends with everyone who gets in his way. Next is the panda. The most sensitive and technologically advanced bear. Is addicted to his gadgets and is constantly trying to find a mate on a dating site. Panda is a vegetarian, has a severe peanut allergy, and draws in anime style. Finally, we come to Ice Bear, the least talked about character. He often serves as the comic denouement of the plot, speaks about himself in the third person and sleeps in the refrigerator, always with an axe. Ice Bear is a skillful cook, a master of martial arts, and can speak several languages, such as Korean, French, Russian, and Japanese. Ice is the calmest of the brothers. These three are the main characters of the show, but we'll meet many more characters along the way that we'll tell you about. Season 1. The first episode of the series, We Bare Bears, is called Our Stuff. Grizzly, Panda, and Ice Bear decided to play basketball at the local park. They put all of their valuables in a backpack and threw it next to them on a bench. Passionate about the game, they managed to score their first goal, but their fun was cut short when they realized that the backpack disappeared. They appealed to the traffic cop for help, but it was not successful. Then they made the decision that they would investigate this matter themselves and recover the missing item. The diner became a place where they could devise a plan. Panda is trying to draw portraits of the criminal. Looking at these drawings, Grizzly realized where they needed to go. Finding only pigeons at the crime scene, they asked them about the criminal. One of the pigeons pointed them to the drawing and started to fly away. The bears followed. While they were getting to the place, the bears accidentally were breaking everything in their path. The pigeon pointed them to the library. There, Panda was able to use the internet and find his phone, which was in their lost backpack. When they got to the address, they saw a guy who looked like the one in the picture walking around with their yellow backpack. Grizzly suggested them to sneak into his house and get their stuff. At this moment, an old lady notices them and calls 911. After sneaking into the house, they couldn't resist watching basketball game, and the guy notices them. After taking their stuff, they made their way outside. The police were already waiting for them there. At this moment, the bears realized that it was the guy's backpack, which just looked like their backpack. To make matters worse, the townspeople blamed them for the destruction they caused along the way. The bears decide to turn themselves into the police. They jump off a building onto a trampoline that the rescuers have placed. Under the force of gravity, they bounce off and hit the window of a next building. There they see many pigeons and stolen items, including their backpack. Turns out that the pigeon cartel is one of the most elusive gangs. So the bears help the police catch dangerous criminals. For this, they were forgiven. In the following episodes, the characters face different difficulties, but you can find teachable moments there. In the second episode, the bears failed to achieve popularity on the internet. In the next episode, they failed in developing their business. Then the bears wanted to be somebody they are not. And they even had a failure in love. But the conclusions from each episode are different. In the first one, they realize that they need to value friends in life, not online. The conclusion of another episode is that you need to follow the rules that the law sets. The next conclusion is that it's fine to be yourself. Also, you can always ask your friends for help. In episode 4, the bears meet Chloe Park. She is a 10-year-old Korean girl who has been trying to study them for her research paper. Chloe is a prodigy. She skipped several grades and went straight to college. Chloe is the first person who entered to the bear's cave. In episode 12, there is a small Easter egg. Chloe watches the animated series Adventure Time on TV, which with We Bare Bears airs on Cartoon Network. Chloe also appears in episode 23. Grizzly and Panda couldn't make it to meet her. Only their brother Ice Bear could be there. The girl decided to find something he liked, and they spent the whole day together. They were in different, interesting places. But Ice Bear was not happy about it. The friends were about to go home. But Ice saw an advertisement for a white albino alligator. Chloe realized how to impress Ice. They drove to the museum where the alligator was located. By the time they were near its enclosure, the building was about to close. Chloe came up with a plan, and they did make it to the alligator, but it was nowhere to be seen. She decided to go down into the enclosure, but it was too dangerous. Ice Bear climbed down after her to save her. The alligator smelled that there was someone nearby and came very close to our heroes. He didn't hurt them and crawled after the sandwich that Chloe dropped. He left our friends alone. When they crawled out of there, it was clear from the bear's face that he had enjoyed this day. New characters include the koala Nom Nom, an internet celebrity with a nasty temper. I think you know what he looks like in real life. He meets the bears when Grizzly admits that he liked Nom Nom's YouTube. Shows himself as a selfish and cruel character in several episodes, which doesn't stop the bears from showing sympathy for him. The first time he appears in the second episode, and after watching this episode, we realize that Nom Nom on the internet and in real life are two different personalities. On the internet, he is cute and funny, but in reality he's the opposite. In episode 10, a video appears online where the koala behaves in a really disgusting way, and his popularity decreases. He decides to turn to Panda and Grizz for help. The Ice Bear immediately realized that Nom Nom had come up with some devious plan, and the bear was right. Koala wanted Grizz and Panda to star in his video in the pool, but he didn't tell them there would be sharks. Koala controlled the sharks with a remote control and collars. Nom Nom wanted to save the bears and get back his good reputation by doing so. His plan failed because he dropped the remote control into the water. The sharks could have hurt the bears and the koala, but Ice Bear got there in time and saved them. The koala fell into a cotton candy stand. He turned out to be completely pink. People start taking pictures of him and putting them on the internet. That's how his reputation comes back. The next interesting character is Charlie. Charlie is a very tall Sasquatch. He lives alone in the forest, in the neighborhood of San Francisco, next to bears. Charlie is used to always being alone, completely unable to communicate, but nevertheless tries to be a good friend. He is constantly harassed by the media, which makes him afraid of TV cameras. The first time he appears is in episode 13, when Grizz posted their cave on the Cave Share website, and Charlie was the only one to respond to the offer. In the final episode of the first season, Charlie also appears. The first scene takes place on a basketball court. The bears' basketball skills have not gotten any better. Charlie was waiting for them in the bushes, next to the basketball court. The panda injured his paw during the game. At home, the bears began to think about who they could replace him with. Charlie came to their house, and they realized that he would be the perfect player for their team. The friends put a bear costume on Charlie. The first few minutes, Charlie doesn't understand how to play basketball, but after a while he really becomes a better player. He played like LeBron James, so everyone else got bored competing with him because of that. When he got home, Panda realized that his paw was getting better. Grizz and Ice were happy that they could have him back on the team, but Charlie didn't like that he could be replaced so easily. The next day, the bears saw that Charlie was already on the opposing team. During the game, Panda realizes that his arm has magically healed. He can throw the ball from anywhere into the basket. Charlie starts playing rough and injures Panda's paw again. The magic action of the paw has passed. During another shot, Charlie's disguise of his sweatshirt and cap falls off. Everyone surrounds him and tries to take pictures, but the bears help him and block the phones with themselves. Charlie at this time runs off into the woods after the bears found him, and he was grateful for their support despite his attitude. The end of the first season. Season 2. Kicking off our second season, yard sale. The bears were going about their business and came across a yard sale. Grizzly found a free box.
Free stuff!
And they took it home. Each found an item in there for themselves. Panda started using his phone right away. Grizz put on giant fist gloves. Ice found a pregnancy fitness CD. Panda got a text message on his new phone from a girl on sale. She asks him out on a date. Grizz starts smashing everything with his fists. He soon realizes he can't get his gloves off, so he asks passersby for help. Ice Bear repeats the fitness routine of the girls on the CD. One of them convinces him that fitness should be done together at the gym. He runs out of the house and heads to the gym. Meanwhile, Panda is on his way to a date. He sees a girl at a table and sits down next to her. She looks at him in surprise. Her husband comes over and finds out why Panda is on a date with his wife. The man wants to fight with the bear, but the woman stands up and says she is in labor.
Calm.
Ice Bear runs by. He starts to help the pregnant woman. They need help getting a cab. A grizzly walks by and they ask him for help. He stops the cab with his gloves. The bears, the woman and her husband, who is unconscious, climb into the cab. They arrive at the hospital. After waiting, the couple invites them to a room. There, our heroes see a baby and are happy about it. The child, seeing Grizzly's big fists, grabs them and manages to take off his gloves. End of episode. Also in the second season, the bears met Ranger Tabes. She is a red-haired girl ranger. She has followed in her mother's footsteps with all her charisma. She strives to bring justice and restore justice. Sometimes her determination scares her friends, the bears. For a long time, she has been trying to find a creature unknown to science that lives in the forest. It's Charlie. In episode 5, the bears have a rearrangement in the cave. All they were missing was the garland. The friends order it online.
Yeah, we can go do whatever we want until it gets here. Or just watch the tracker for half an hour. Ugh.
The delivery doesn't arrive, so they call the police. They are sent to Ranger Tabes. She suggests they find the criminal who stole their package. The bears didn't agree to this right away. They just wanted their money back.
It may sound trivial to you, but I think everyone deserves justice, no matter what.
But when they heard her speech at the station, they changed their minds. As they were driving the car, the ranger heard a strange noise in the radio and turned away. They came across a cave with a large number of packages. The robots that were carrying the parcels appeared to be broken. Among the parcels, Panda saw their swag. But one of the robots grabbed Panda and started flying away. With the help of the garland, his friends were able to save him. After everything happened, Tabes gave the bears a ride home. She got a new assignment on the radio. When the bears heard this, they climbed back into her car. End of episode. Tabes appears again in episode 20. Their Tabes is trying to find the mysterious creature from the forest, that is Charlie. She asks the bears to help her in this endeavor. The bears are friends with Charlie and want to warn him about the traps that Tabes is preparing.
Okay, guys, you keep Tabes here. I'm gonna go warn Charlie about the traps.
Ice Bear will stall.
While Grizzly is trying to find Bigfoot, Panda and Ice distract Tabes. At that moment, the trap is triggered.
Huh? Charlie?
Everyone heads towards the scene. The triggered trap causes the roof of the bear's cave to catch fire. Tabes finds herself in the center of the fire. Charlie saves her. After that, the ranger stops searching for the mysterious creature.
Time to let go, I guess.
Ice Bear is proud of you.
Next, we have the highest-rated episode of the series, Yuri and the Bear. From this episode, we can know about the mysterious past of Ice Bear. One day, as a child, little Ice Bear stalks a bird and notices hunters. He seeks shelter to hide from them. That's how he ended up in a cozy tent with the enticing smell of food. Ice Bear began to look around. When he heard the sound of approaching footsteps, he hid under the bed, but the man found him at once. In chasing the bear, he had injured his knee. Ice feels guilty and hands him a bandage. The man calls himself Yuri and addresses himself in the third person.
Yuri wants Lord Snorad to leave.
It is from him that Ice learned this. Yuri is a Russian man who lives alone in the Arctic. When he saw bear hunters outside, he decided not to kick Ice out. The hunters had a polar bear skin on their backs. Perhaps they had hunted Ice Bear's parents in the past. The man allowed the bear to stay, but put conditions.
Yuri will let you stay if you work. Yuri will give you chores. Yuri will make bear earn keep and food.
One of them was not to open the chest of personal belongings. Yuri taught Ice Bear a lot of things. With his help, the bear knows how to handle an axe, cook well, speak Russian, and much more. One day while cleaning his tent, Ice Bear opened the chest. He saw a picture of Yuri's family. Later, Ice gives a gift, a horse carved out of wood. like the one in Yuri's picture. Yuri realizes that he was looking into the chest of personal belongings. The man becomes very angry and kicks Ice Bear out. The bear is very upset. Then he gets caught in a trap. The dogs start howling and the hunters ride out after the bear. Yuri comes to Ice Bear's aid. They drive off, but his snowmobile breaks down. The hunters catch up with them. In this moment, you can see that Yuri is ready to do anything to save his friend. The man put the bear on the edge of the ice floe and hit it with an axe to make the ice crack. The bear on the ice floe floats away. All he has left is Yuri's axe. And the man was left with a carved horse from the ice bear. The final episode of the second season is called Neighbors. Grizzly has been watching a documentary about a crazy man all night. The bears hear a sound outside and come out to watch. Now new neighbors, Faye and Warren, will be living next door to them. They get to know each other. The man immediately starts examining Grizz and admiring him. The bears go inside, but Grizzly decides to treat the neighbors to a casserole. As he approaches the van, he hears that they want to grab him. They have a large number of knives hanging on the wall. Bear runs home in a panic. He warns his brothers about the neighbors' conversation. But his brothers think he is paranoid about the documentary show. They suggest he get some rest. Grizz agrees and falls asleep. He wakes up to conversations in the kitchen. The new neighbors and his friends are sitting there. Grizzly sits down at the table. The couple begins to question the bear. After a while, the man asks Ice to borrow his axe. This was the last straw of Grizzly's patience. His suspicions are justified, and he kicks the neighbors out of the house. Panda and Ice don't believe him and resent his brother for ruining the evening. At night, Grizzly can't sleep. He hears a sound outside and goes to look. Panda and Ice are already standing at the window. All three of them see Warren chopping down a tree. On that tree was Grizz's picture. At that moment, bones fall from Faye's bed. This scares the brothers a lot. Panda decides to call the police, but Grizz convinces him that they need to get the evidence first. Faye and Warren go into town, and the bears go into a neighbor's van. They see a book with Grizzly anatomy, and on the wall are pictures of Grizz and threatening writings. As they examine the wall with their pictures, they hear that the neighbors have come home. The bears, trying to hide, drop the skeleton. The pair realize that someone was home. The brothers try to get out through the window, but Grizz gets stuck. The bears start pulling him, causing the wall from the van to fall down. The friends see the neighbors and tell them to stay away from them. Then Warren takes out a knife and starts carving a bear figurine out of wood. Turns out their neighbors are just doing wood carving. Grizzly apologizes for his behavior and asks them to make amends. The neighbors ask them to pose so they can carve the right figures out of wood. End of Season 2. Let's start Season 3, Episode 1, Grizzly the Movie. Grizzly chooses a movie on an outdoor movie rental box to watch tonight. While discussing movies with his brothers, Grizzly starts showing different scenes from the movie. At this moment, a movie director goes past them. She's informed that they don't have a bear for their movie. She looks at Grizz and sees him showing scenes from the movies. Then she applauds him and offers to do her movie. Grizz agrees and gets in her car. The director lets him take his brothers with him. Arriving at the studio, they let him sign a contract, but Panda warns that he should first read it. The girl distracts Ice and Panda with a buffet. In this moment, she convinces Grizz to sign the contract without reading it. They start filming the first scene. In it, Grizz has to scare to hikers in the forest. After many unsuccessful takes, the director suggests shooting another scene. Panda and Ice support their brother. In the next scene, he has had to attack the ranger in the house, but again, he can't do it to look like a typical bear. The crew replaces him with a man in a green suit, and with the help of 3D graphics, makes a realistic attack on the man. Grizzly sees this. He's very upset that people think bears are so cruel. He tries to explain that most bears don't act that way, but the director says they are making a horror movie. Grizz doesn't want to continue doing this movie. The girl fires him. He forbids to use his image in this movie, but the director shows him a contract that says otherwise. The brothers get kicked out of the studio. Panda and Ice try to calm him down. After that, people who see the poster for this movie become afraid of bears. A strange sound starts coming from the movie set. The bears see the set start to fall down. The guy in a green suit is crushed by a rock. Grizz rescues him, and the other brothers get the others off the set. Eventually, the whole structure falls. Grizz and the guy are left on it. Everyone outside is in shock, waiting to see what happens next. At that moment, Grizzly carries the guy out in a puff of dust. Everyone starts applauding the bears for saving. The director runs up to Grizz and asks him to do the proper ending of the movie where he will be the hero. The bear agrees. Even though Grizzly didn't become a superstar, he's still glad they were able to change the ending of the movie. In episode 5, the bears meet Ralph. Ralph is a Yeti who enjoys making cruel jokes about people and animals. He usually humiliates Charlie because of his skinny body, but Charlie confronts him. The 5th episode begins with Charlie hiding from the tourists. Suddenly, the people are startled by someone and run away. Charlie sees that it's another Bigfoot. But Ralph was bigger and more muscular. Charlie asks to go with Ralph and scare people. So they run through the forest together and terrify the tourists. Suddenly, Charlie remembers that he is having dinner with the bears. He invites Ralph to go with him. Upon arriving at the bears' house, Ralph scares them. He stays for dinner and makes a mess in their cave. The bears are not happy to have such a guest. Charlie is upset that the bears didn't like his new friend. The Yetis leave. They go to scare people again. This time they see a group of people on a suspension bridge. Ralph wants to cut off one side of the bridge. Charlie won't let him do it. Ralph leaves and Charlie stays to hold the bridge on one side. The people manage to get to the other side. Charlie's feet slip and he falls down, but he is grabbed by the bears and rescued. They make peace and the four go to dinner. Ralph also appears in another episode, Ice Cave. He behaves just as obnoxiously as he did in the previous episode. He tells the bears and Charlie how to behave. The ice bear is the only one who can fight him back. At night, Ralph freezes the bears' cave and puts them in ice chains. He commands the bears to do all his bidding. At the end of the episode, Charlie acts like a hero and manages to fight back against Ralph. He kicks him out of the cave. The bears are very proud of their friend. The next character we're going to talk about is Lucy. Lucy is a friend of the bears and runs a grocery delivery service. She first appears back in the first season in the episode Panda's Date. She likes the bears. Panda quickly, as usual, falls in love with her, but she is unaware of his feelings. In the 3rd season, she appears in the episode Lucy's Brother. The episode begins with Panda cleaning up his cave. Because on Fridays, Lucy delivers fruit to them. The girl goes into the bear's cave. A boy also enters their cave after her. It's Clifford, her little brother. The girl is late with her deliveries to the other houses. Panda offers to sit with her brother to get her to like him. The other bears go with Lucy and help her deliver the fruit. Clifford has a long list of allergies to different foods. During the day, he and Panda do different things, and at the end they get closer. Panda wanted to take a picture with Clifford. The boy was excited because only his sister had taken pictures with him before. At this moment, Panda gets a text from Lucy, but he has her in his phone as future Mrs. Panda. Clifford is angry with him. He accuses Panda of just communicating with him to please his sister. Clifford tries to run away, but a jar of peanut paste falls on him. The allergies make the boy swell, and he can't move. Panda searches all over the house for the cure, but the bear has his paws in the peanut paste and begins to swell too. With his last strength, he gives Clifford a shot. Panda apologizes and collapses without strength. The boy runs to get more medicine and saves the bear. Lucy and the other bears arrive at the cave. They see that Clifford and Panda are watching TV. They really hit it off. In the 2nd season, the character Yana appears in the episode Icy Nights. She is shown there in just one scene. From this scene, it becomes clear that Yana already knows ice and speaks Russian. In the 3rd season, in the episode Icy Nights 2, the personality of Yana and their past with ice is revealed in more detail. She is a strong girl with a sentimental side to her. At the beginning of the episode, Ice receives a message. He realizes Yana has been kidnapped by someone. Taking his advanced robot vacuum, the bear flies out to help. He tries to free the girl. She manages to tell him it's a trap for him. We see Barry, a tech genius and Ice's nemesis. He is under orders from his father to retrieve the vacuum. During the course of the escape from this building, we learn some details about Ice and Yana's past. They have known each other for a long time and have helped each other around the world under unexplained circumstances. The girl is very good with an axe. The pendant that hangs around her neck also plays an important role. Having overcome all the obstacles, they manage to get out. Yana is leaving. The robot vacuum retrieves the girl's pendant. Earlier she said that the pendant was a gift from her dad. Ice opens it and sees a picture of Yuri and his family. From here it becomes clear how the girl is so good with an axe and can speak Russian. Moving on to episode 32, Panda 2. From these scenes we learn more about Pan's childhood. It turns out that at first Panda lived in an enclosure. There he was all alone. Seeing his loneliness, an employee sent him a toy version of Panda. Our hero named him Panda 2. Pan has always wanted to look through the window on the wall of the aviary. He uses the toy as a stand. There he sees a television set. Panda is fascinated by moving pictures, anime. This is most likely what caused him to develop such a love for anime in the future. While trying to show the TV to his friend, he escapes from the enclosure. He hears someone approaching the room he is in. The panda starts looking for a way out. He tries to get out through the window, but he lacks height, and with the help of his toy friend as a prop, he gets out through the window. He couldn't take his friend with him. The panda hides in a bamboo van, and the van takes our hero away. And finally, we begin the final season of We Bare Bears. The first episode, Go Fish. The bears go fishing on a ship. The captain of the ship is also on board. He says he has seen a giant goldfish. The bears don't believe him. At that moment, the fish appears and eats the captain. The furry friends panic and try to get back to shore, but the fish swallows the key to the ship. The ice bear behaves very heroically. He jumps into the water after the fish. After a while, the fish throws him back onto the ship. The bear manages to get the key to the boat. The fish damages the ship and it begins to sink. When the goldfish swims up to the ship, Grizz sees that it has different colored eyes. He claims to know this fish. The brothers remember that Panda won a goldfish with different colored eyes at one fair. So they gave it the name Marty, but when they got home, it died. They flushed it down the toilet, but at that moment, the fish opened its eyes again. And from then on, it grew into a giant goldfish. The bears call the fish by name, and it remembers them. The fish isn't going to hurt them. At that moment, the captain comes out of the water and throws a harpoon at Marty. Our heroes try to protect Marty. The harpoon hits Panda's phone, and they all stay alive. End of episode. In episodes 2 and 3, the characters also gain experience from their situations.
Man, that's the last time we tried to find a family at a monster truck rally.
For example, when the baby bears go to school, we realize that in school you have to treat not only the teachers, but also the students well. And the episode Goose talks about loving your family. Grizzly and Ice were being naughty. But despite this, Panda sacrificed himself for them.
You're just being you.
Panda.
And you know what? That's what I love about you.
And it's a good thing it was always just a virtual reality.
Panda, oh my gosh, Panda, my beautiful child!
Guys, I'm fine.
In Season 4, we learn more about Grizzly's childhood. In Episode 4, Paper Boys, the bears try to deliver newspapers as kids. They needed to earn money. In one scene, Grizz climbs a tree. He was running away from a dog. Grizz mentions that he hates sitting in trees. This started from his early childhood. Back in the Season 1 episode Burrito, we were shown scenes where little Grizz was rescued by a team of firefighters. He was sitting on top of a tree during a storm. That's what made him so phobic. Also in the 4th season episode Family Troubles, we are shown Grizz's childhood. He starred in a Canadian sitcom called Family Troubles. Bear was the star there with the catchphrase, "That's not what I ordered."
That's not what I ordered.
In a conversation with the director, he thanks him for the crew picking him up from the firehouse. From this, it is clear to us that after the firemen rescued him, he stayed with them for a while. Then he ended up on the movie set. Grizz considers his family on the show to be a real family. He tells the director that he would like a bigger family. And the director gets the idea to add another character to the series. In the next episode, the new character Lorenzo appears. The whole family is infatuated only with him. Grizzly remains on the sidelines. Then the bear offers the guy a race across the studio. That way they can decide who stays on the show. Grizz wins, and the director offers to fire Lorenzo. At this point, little Grizzly realizes that the fake family never offered him real love and happiness. He makes a decision and leaves the set to find a real family. Eventually, this show gets shut down. End of episode. In the episode Hot Sues, we meet the pigeon cartel again. Ice has made dinner. The guys realize it's missing sauce. The bears go to the supermarket to buy it. Their favorite sriracha sauce is not on the shelves. The brothers walk out of the supermarket. Panda steps on some liquid. Ice sniffs and tastes it. It turns out to be sauce. A pigeon peeks out from around the corner and beckons them over. The bears approach. The bird opens the suitcase, and there they see a similar sauce. It has a different name. Sir Cuckoo. Pigeon convinces Grizz to try this sauce. Bear confirms that the taste is the same. The brothers buy a suitcase of sauces. Dove gives his business card. They return home. Upon opening the door, they are greeted by a policeman. He brings them to the station. The police accuse the bears of having illegally purchased the goods. They can forgive the brothers. But for this, the heroes must catch the pigeon cartel. The bears disguise themselves as tough guys. And they come to the address on the business card. They go inside. There are a lot of pigeons, and their leader shows up. He asks the bears to pass a test, so that they can buy the goods. Grizz drinks the entire bottle of sauce. The pigeons show how they change the stickers on the sauce. The panda offers to take a picture. The leader agrees. The bear tries to send the photo to a policeman. One of the pigeons notices this and turns the bears in. The leader decides to punish the bears. Grizz asks for one last drink of some more sauce. He pours the sauce on the ringleader, and they try to escape. Outside, pigeons surround them, but that's when the police show up. So the bears help the police catch the pigeon cartel again. And they got back 3 jars of sriracha sauce. The final episode of the season is Panda's birthday. During his birthday, Panda watches his favorite band, Monsta X, dance.
Monster X! I love them so much!
His brothers return home. They are very excited as they think their present for Panda will be very cool. Grizzly and Ice give him a poster with his favorite band's autograph. But when Panda unwraps it, he's upset. The guys got the band mixed up and took autograph of Monsta X. Panda is disappointed that he didn't get the poster. And also that the band is giving their last concert in their city. And all the tickets are sold out.
Bro, what do we do? Huh?
Find us.
Then his brothers come up with a plan. Ice uses his laptop to find which hotel the band is staying at. Grizzly disguises himself as a corridor man. He sneaks Panda and Ice inside the hotel in suitcases. Upon reaching the group's room, Grizz throws the suitcases inside and himself runs away from another corridor man. The suitcases fly into the room, but Panda's suitcase is opened and he flies out the window and hangs on it. Monsta X enters the room, and they see Ice, who has just gotten out of the suitcase. Bear tries to find his brother Panda. The group is surprised that a fan can be so calm. After sitting for a bit, Monsta X informs them that it's time for them to go. At this point, a crowd of fans break the windows and make their way inside. Ice tries to help the band escape from them. Then Grizzly joins them as well. At this point, Panda slips off the window and falls right into the crowd of fans, and the Monsta X bus drives off. A distressed Panda lies on the ground. A group comes out of the bushes. The bears are shocked. The guys explain that it was a fake bus. The brothers convince Panda to show the group his signature gesture.
Monster X! Hey! Monster X!
The guys really like it. Monsta X invite the bears to star in their music video. This was Panda's best birthday ever. The end of the 4th season and the entire series. In a world where the pace of life is relentless and challenges can seem insurmountable, the animated series We Bare Bears serves as a reminder of the importance of friendship, acceptance, and the simple joys of life. As we journeyed through the lives of Grizzly, Panda, and Ice Bear, we laughed, empathized, and found a piece of ourselves in their cute adventures.
Yeah, looking good, bro.
Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic journey through the world of We Bare Bears.